Hello and welcome, and today we start a special series as a part of Storyboard 18. Welcome to Decoding B2B Marketing, that means business, a special series in partnership with LinkedIn. I'm Shibani Gharat, and today we are diving into one of the most pressing shifts in marketing world, the rise of AI. But this isn't a story about machines replacing marketers. It's about how AI is helping them think smarter, create bolder, and perform better. Episode 1 is all about finding that sweet spot where creativity meets control and data becomes the storyteller. Our today's guests for this conversation are Sachin Sharma, LinkedIn Marketing Solutions India, and Arun Patabiraman, Sprinkler. Today, we explore how AI is changing the way B2B marketing works as AI tools become more common into the marketing playbook. The real opportunity lies in using them wisely to tell stronger stories, target the right audience, and get more from every campaign. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and let's straight dive into the conversation. Tell us, why is AI suddenly becoming so important? Why are B2B marketers such in leaning so much into AI?
So we all know this, but we are in the midst of a massive shift in computing with the advent and adoption of AI. And this is a massive change. This is truly an inflection point, comparable to probably the introduction of personal computers, mobile phones, internet, and the cloud. This is going to create a lot of opportunities for people to do very interesting, influential, and creative work. And so marketing is not to be left behind. Now, juxtapose with this with the environment that the marketers are operating in, and there are a lot of constraints and a lot of pressure to prove the return on marketing investments. Needless to say, they are not only building proficiency in AI, but they're also adopting AI in their day-to-day. So last year, we commissioned research where we spoke to about 2,000 plus B2B marketers across the globe. Guess what? 3 in 4 in India said they have already started using some form of generative AI tools or solutions in their day-to-day work.
Sure.
And so what this does is it accelerates content delivery for them. It helps them capture efficiencies and drives productivity improvement. So 90% of the marketers today believe this is going to significantly boost ROI for them. But I want to be very clear with the core message is that there has to be an authentic, trustworthy data layer coupled with human creativity, and then a layer of AI on top of that to truly unlock the impact of marketing.
Yeah, as a marketer, Arun, how are you unlocking AI? Whenever there is a new technology, like often marketers, come up and say, oh, AI ke saath kuch karte hai, metaverse ke saath kuch karte hai. So is it sort of a FOMO? Is there a pressure to have AI?
If you really think about it from a marketer's perspective, AI is no longer a novelty, it's a necessity. Because on one end of the spectrum, you have customers and buyers expecting hyper-personalized, always-on, effortless experiences, right? When brands are engaging with them. And that's just not possible without you leveraging AI. And then if you think about it from a marketer's perspective, AI has become a superpower, right? Because suddenly it's enabling them to unleash new levels of speed, creativity, and productivity. That means that the marketer can now focus their efforts on strategic thinking and campaign development. So that's another capability. And finally, if you think about it from a creativity standpoint, a lot of marketers are either left-brained or right-brained. Right. So AI is becoming a co-pilot that can help complement them and fill in the gaps where they don't have. So if you are a really analytical, data-driven marketer, then AI can help you ideate campaigns at scale and very, very quickly. If you are a creative campaign, creative marketer, then AI can help you really test and iterate campaigns at scale. So suddenly with AI, you're able to drive quality and velocity both at the same time. So from my perspective, if you think about it, AI cannot be an afterthought. AI has to be natively embedded into the way you run and scale campaigns as a B2B marketer.
But how do you marry these two together, Sachin? They work in parallel, but can you bring them together with the use of AI, and how do you effectively do this?
Yeah, I think one of the unstated powers of AI is that it helps you bridge the gap between data and creativity. And I will give you an example. Today, for example, on LinkedIn as a platform, if you are an advertiser, you can actually identify your target audiences, launch a campaign, and then not worry about it all in a matter of 5 minutes. We'll pick up all of the signals, we will optimize it on the fly, we'll even tell you what kind of content makes the most sense and help you generate a few ad copies. We call it the accelerate campaigns.
One of the key concerns for brands these days in today's digital ecosystem is, of course, brand safety is a big concern. So how can brands ensure that their messaging and their content is safe?
So totally agree with you. Where brands show up matters a lot. In fact, some of our own research at LinkedIn has proven multiple times the consumers both in the B2B and in the B2C environment have less preference for when brand content shows up with inappropriate content. Right? And in marketing and in UX design, we call this the proximity principle. You are actually associated with who you show up with. Platforms like ours, like LinkedIn, we take this very, very seriously. And we have 3 pillars that we've built to ensure that brand safety is front and center for when we try and work with our advertisers. So we have a set of policies, both community policies, advertising guidelines that we strictly adhere to. But on top of that, we have product options. So as a marketer, Arun, for example, today could choose where he wants to show up and what are some of their preferences in terms of brand placement. But to top it up, we have partnerships. So these are deep partnerships with some of the leading industry players, which help us validate traffic, which help us ensure that they're showing up in the right places, that there are no bots, no adverse traffic, and we are always only reporting what is accurate and truthful.
Yeah, let's ask Arun, what are your expectations from a platform like LinkedIn?
Trust and transparency have to be at the heart of how brands engage. And first, they deserve to know whom they are engaging with. The second thing is really, if you think about it, customers are leaving billions of breadcrumbs of personal information, personal intelligence, and things about what they like and what they dislike across all of these social and digital channels. So what you need is a platform that can actually manage consent at scale. So if you think about the Sprinklr platform, we have inbuilt governance and controls where we collect and process the consent information from customers across different social and digital channels at scale. We allow that cross-functional collaboration to be able to ensure that every brand shows up consistently, irrespective of the channel or irrespective of the location where they engage with the brand. So I think all that goes to say that even in a platform like LinkedIn, when we work with LinkedIn, we trust them because they're able to process consent at scale. They're able to help us engage with our customers in a brand safe and a compliant manner.
Yeah. One of the notable trends that I have seen over the past couple of years is how the lines between B2B marketing and B2C marketing have blurred. How do you look at this shift? Then how is it happening on LinkedIn? Let's just first ask Sachin about this.
Absolutely. So when you think of B2B and B2C marketing, I think the end objective or the end goal is very much aligned. And one of the changes that we are seeing in B2B is a deeper appreciation that you're basically trying to reduce the risk or remove risk completely in a transaction. And how you do that is you build collective confidence. So while in the B2C scenario, you're probably an individual trying to make a purchase decision, in a B2B environment, it's what we call a buyer group, right? There is a collective set of people that are trying to come to a consensus. And a lot of times our research has found that finding that consensus is the most difficult part. So what are we trying to do through our customers, through our advertisers and our partners is to share more information, drive that collective consensus, which then reduces the risk of the transition, right?
So, Arun, over to you. How are you building more human stories in today's day and age?
At the heart of it, whether you're a B2B or a B2C brand, you're at the end of the day, you are marketing to human beings. And buyers are human beings and they respond to emotions, right? So if you are a marketer, whether you're a B2B or a B2C marketer, the first thing you have to be able to do is really be able to understand your customers better. And that's where I think platforms like LinkedIn, but also social listening platforms like Sprinklr can really help parse through petabytes of unstructured conversations that are happening on all of these social and digital channels and convert them into meaningful insights for brands to really be able to have the ability to personalize their campaigns, right? So that is number one. The second thing is, what do you do with that insight and how do you engage with customers in a more human humanized manner. For instance, at Sprinkler today, we get thousands of inbound leads, right? And one of the biggest challenges that we faced in the past is that we had to deploy human beings to be able to respond to all of those leads, and that could take sometimes even days before we could get back to a customer. Now that leads to bad customer experience, bad word of mouth, but also poor conversions. So today we have deployed AI at scale to be able to send personalized responses to inbound leads as and when they come into our systems. And that has helped us, one, obviously improve customer experience, but also qualify, prospect, and convert leads at scale. So that has a direct business impact.
Brilliant. So AI with heart, data with direction. That's what we are decoding here. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to follow our guests for more real talk on marketing that means business. With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, X, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.